My first year, I did about almost 20 million in sales. I did
Damn,
it.
20 million in sales?
Yeah.
Shit.
Thank God. Thank the man above.
Yeah.
Keeping my head on straight and whatnot. And then I
All right, so you guys ready?
ready.
Today we got DM Danny in the house, in the
Yes,
building, in
sir.
the
Yes,
Miami
sir.
Hustle. Hey,
Yes, sir.
you
Let's
already know.
go.
Hey, thank you so much for your time. We
Of
know
course, of
you're a
course.
busy man, but we appreciate you.
Definitely,
Thank
man.
you for
And I
stopping by.
appreciate you as
So
well.
just so everybody knows, we met out in Karate Combat. Shout out to President Awesome for putting on a show. Shout out to Fames. We were out there. We met you and we connected, and here we are. A
Definitely.
couple days later on the Miami Hustle.
Yeah, man. And when I saw you guys out there and we were talking about the podcast, I was like, I love to show the community love, and then also vice versa. It's important to communicate your life experiences and whatnot. So
Yeah, for sure. So again, we appreciate you for being here, and just tell a little bit about where you're from. Were you born and raised in Miami?
yeah, so I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland, a small city called Reisterstown, and I lived there for about till I was 17ish, and then I moved to Florida. And when I moved to Florida, I went to Fort Lauderdale High School for my senior year, which was kind of
Okay,
odd because it was my
cool.
senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
and
was
then
that for you? From Baltimore to Florida is
from Baltimore
two
to Florida,
different.
man, the cold to the palm trees.
Yeah,
Every day I woke up, I was looking at the palm trees, and it was just a blessing of its own.
nice.
And then I got a scooter because I was like, you know what, it's Florida. Shit, I'm just go get a little moped, riding my moped to school. It was so much fun, man. I enjoyed it, and a lot came from it. I once I moved here, after the first month or two, I found out that my neighbor was a big promoter for nightclubs. And since he was a big promoter for nightclubs, I was like, you know what? Is there a way for me to make money from him? I was working at Jamba Juice at the time. I was never the dude for the job. You know what I mean? I never could have somebody tell me what to do or whatnot. I always had to like do my own thing and like think outside the box and hustle. Just like you guys.
Yeah,
Out here
So
hustling, though.
yeah, man.
feel that. So how was life in Baltimore before we get into how life is in Florida? First of all, how old are you right now?
I'm 23.
Okay, so the move was pretty recent from 17 to 23. You've been here for
Definitely.
a couple years, but
Yeah.
how was life over there?
So in Baltimore, the life was well. It started off by me, being in football. And when I was a young kid, I always played football. I was the athletic kid, the class clown. Always trying to talk to the girls. And in middle school, being the worst kid, the worst student for the teacher, but always getting the best grades.
Yeah.
Because I always made sure my grades were on point. But life was just pretty much, I would say it was kind of you had to watch your back in a way because it was a little ghetto where I was brought up. But it just you had to stay around the right people and had to make sure that you were learning from your experiences. But I'm glad that I'm from where I'm from, and I learned a lot of lessons. So then getting to high school in Baltimore, I started smoking weed. I was actually, so it's bad to say, but I was the high school varsity quarterback, and I sprained my ankle because I was being slot receiver for a practice for tryouts, and I was running this route, and I went to go catch the ball, and I fell on my ankle wrong. So I ended up sitting out for like a week or two. I was like, you know what, like my ankle's not gonna heal for another month. I'm gonna be out of the season. I still want to show support, but let me just start smoking weed with my boys. Started doing that, and when I started smoking weed, I started slowly going down the wrong path, and I started getting into other things that I shouldn't have put my hands into, and then riding dirt bikes in the street and whatnot. And it taught me a lot of lessons though, because I was around such a big variety of people, different cultures, that I'm able to connect with whoever, right? So now when it comes to where I'm at today, I'm able to now connect with you know the Jewish guy, and then also the most ghetto guy, the influential person in the world, and then also just the guy that just walks down the street and needs a dollar. I can feel people's hearts in a way just from being around such a variety of people.
Yeah, that's big in the real estate game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to have, and I mean, for those that don't know, you're a realtor, so
Yep.
that's huge. And when you moved down from Baltimore to Miami your senior year, how was that experience for you? Because that kind of sucks. Like, I feel like you had all your friends over there.
Yeah.
What made you move down here that senior year?
So it's definitely what made me move down here was my mom always wanted to live in Florida, and to me, Florida was a dream because my mom brought me up to vacationing in Florida. So it's kind of like this is the vacation, right? But the way it felt was it really just made me feel like it was very weird. You know, my mom. I remember coming home one day. My mom was like, "We're gonna move to Florida before, because she's a school teacher. Before we go and she starts her new, year of school, she got a job at Fort Lauderdale, like somewhere in middle school." In Fort Lauderdale. But once I did that move, I mean, I felt like a little sick, like butterflies in my stomach, because I missed all my friends. Like, it's like a weird feeling, that's a big move.
Yeah.
And I grew up there, and it was my senior year. So I remember, like, I used to always miss my friends and whatnot. And actually, like, the first month of moving to Florida, my best friend died. And he was 17, my age, good kid. He had a lot going on for himself. He was driving in the back of a car, and I would have been there too. So I feel like God moves in mysterious ways. So I moved to Florida for a reason. But my friend, he literally was in the back of a car. My other friend was driving, and he was drunk with no seatbelt on. And the kid that was driving was a little drunk, but he was speeding, trying to be funny. And there was girls in the back. My friend was with his girlfriend that he was dating for 3 years, and I got a call in the morning saying that they flew out of the windows, and they spun out, and they were dead on the highway. And I saw the video. And I mean, I was sick for about 2 weeks. I traded in my moped that I just told you guys about. I traded that moped in and never wanted to get in a car. I didn't go in a car for about a month or two. Literally, I was walking to school. Like, that's how scared I was.
Yeah,
It was
that is
bad.
scary. That's a crazy
Yeah, man.
experience.
A moped's
Sorry
worse.
to hear that.
A moped is worse.
Don't drive a moped.
No, a moped's worse. But honestly, like, when I moved here, my first semester of high school was a little bit weird, just because it was kind of like I didn't really know anybody.
Yeah, you gotta
But
adjust.
I got out of the box, and I was like, I'm always the kid that, like, is friends with everybody, daps people up in the hallway. So again, my neighbor was a promoter, and he was like, "Yo, Danny, like, I can teach you how to be a promoter."
You sound like the perfect promoter, bro.
He was like, "Yo, Danny, I can teach you how to be a promoter for." Sorry about that. He was like, "Danny, I can teach you how to be a promoter for high school." So I was like, "Shit, parties, bro, I'm lit." 'Cause there was never really club parties. There was really always like house parties in Maryland, right? It was like like get-togethers. But down here, it's like people that you don't know come, buy drinks at the bar. So he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna give you." So I started learning from him about the promoting game, and then he taught me. And then he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna give you 500 tickets and some flyers, and just go sell them to your school for a Halloween party." It was like, what's the month before October? November, September?
September.
Yeah.
September.
So it was September at the time, like middle of September, and I had till October 31st to throw the party for Halloween. And he gave me flyers and tickets. So I remember I met these kids that were freshmen. I was a senior at the time, and we got along pretty well. I was like, "Yo, I'll give y'all $20 to pass out flyers to the whole crowd." They were walking around. I was like, "I want to see them every single morning in every girl's bathroom, every men's bathroom, every bathroom." Got to the point where teachers were using my flyers as their bathroom pass. No joke. There was this math teacher who used my flyers as bathroom pass, and freaking we threw a banger, bro. Like, I'm talking, like, I had high schools from different counties,
house party?
Miami-Dade. It was a club
Okay.
that only had 600 people. And our overhead was actually $600. He was charging us $1 per person. We charged everybody $20.
wow.
So we made
Yeah.
$1,200. And then I was backdooring people. I was like, "Yo, come through the back door." Did $100 through the back door.
That's the
I made
hustle
about
right there.
I made about 1,500 that night. And I got addicted to party promoting. And it goes on from there.
Hey, you're in the right city for it. That's for
man,
sure.
No, for
yeah.
real.
But there's two things that can happen to you in Miami. I learned very quick. It can eat you up, spit you out, or you can take the opportunity and run with it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
That
For
is,
sure.
did it eat you up and spit you out first before you took
Yeah.
the opportunities, or did you?
I took the opportunity thinking that it was gonna go to something good, and it really was an opportunity to eat you out and eat you
Oh,
up and
shit.
spit you out, and that's what a lot of people that just moved down here take that opportunity. That's gonna eventually there's no end game, you know.
Was that
Yeah.
the promoter lifestyle for you or not?
That
Or
was
it
the
a good
promoter.
opportunity?
So that was the promoter
like both?
start. Yeah, it was kind of like the promoter lifestyle, and that was the start of promoting. And then it got to the point where I ended up going to college, and the guy that put me on event at first was like, "Yo, I think that I got a name for you. I've been studying for you." I was like, "Damn, he's really cares about me." Like, he was like, "Yo, like, I've been waiting to tell you this, but your name should be DM Danny. Direct message Danny for anything that you need. DM Danny. Now, since we're branding you, we're gonna put your name on the flyer, and every time that you guys you know, someone sees your name on the flyer, you're like a logo. Because his name was Collegiate Nightlife, and my name was DM Danny. So it's kind of like it works hand to hand, you know. So he's like, I'm gonna make you your own entity, but it's gonna funnel into my business. So people started taking pictures with me. It was a crazy.
And this was mostly in
experience.
Fort Lauderdale or down in Miami or both?
Miami, I did Club Space, and I did a little bit of 11. Like I would go with like different people to 11, but and think about it, I was under 21 at
I was
the
gonna
time,
say this
bro.
sounds like it could eat you up and spit you out
Yeah,
real quick
bro.
for
It
sure.
did, bro.
Space and 11 is no joke when you're not even 21.
Exactly.
But I mean, at least you experienced all of that early. I'm sure you grew from it.
Definitely, man. It was a good experience. It taught me about the nightlife in Miami because that's what everybody gets sucked into. I mean, you can't be from, like, you know those videos. I'm from Miami. I've been to club, of course.
Of course, yeah. But at least you were, less of a consumer, more of
Yeah.
a making money in the
Definitely.
nightlife, which that helps a lot.
Exactly.
Because some people, they just spend money on the nightlife, and that really, like, eats you up and spits you out. Like,
The
real
money
quick.
that you could spend down here in a second, bro, is
Yeah.
is
can
insane,
go
bro. You
by
could probably
quick.
spend $1 million in a second.
Yeah, so
not
from-
even knowing it.
From promoting, how did you get into the real estate game?
So from promoting, I got into real estate by.
Or actually, before that, what were you studying? Because you mentioned college.
So I was studying business management,
Okay,
and I was
cool.
going to FAU.
Nice.
And I was never the kid that really could focus in class, but I always had the good grades somehow, some way. But it was just because I always wanted to be the best at whatever I do. And I felt like even if I'm going to school, I need to get A's. You know what I mean? So my mom would get a call every week, but then she would see my report card. I'd have all A's and one B. And my B was always being math. Because math, I hated. You really have to study for math. Everything else you don't have to study for, and I hated studying, so.
So then how did that go into real estate?
So then it went into real estate by I stopped doing promoting because it was kind of demonic, and my dad was always like, yo, this is a demonic industry, like you can't keep doing this. So I was like, he was like, one night I want you to go to the club. I had a Thursday night at the club. He was in Fort Lauderdale. He was like, I want you to go to the Thursday night at the club, and I want you to look around and see who you see, look in people's eyes and see what you see. And I looked in people's eyes. I remember I was
At
on the
Space?
stage. No,
You don't wanna-
this
that's the wrong place to look at people's eyes.
this was at Munchies in Fort Lauderdale. So I looked in this dude's eyes, and I was like, I looked to the right, and I looked at the security's eyes that I knew, and I was like, bro, this is a freaking demon. I looked around, I saw all dancing demons, bro. Lie to you not. It was the craziest
Dancing
experience, bro.
demons.
Dancing demons, bro. Not even joking to you. And I was like, bro, this is a demonic industry. I'm out. And I remember right when I was leaving, this kid came up to me, and it was a weird spiritual thing, bro. This kid came up to me, and he was like, yo, Danny. He was like, you're DM Danny, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, I have some people that are looking for you, bro. Watch your back. Right when I was leaving, bro. Lie to you not. And I left, and that was really like it. I kind of in and out, put my foot in it, but my feet aren't soaked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how long were you in the game for?
It was a quick game, bro. It was like 2 years.
That's a good amount of time, though.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to your dad.
Yeah, man.
For
Shout
opening
out to
your
my
eyes
dad.
on
He
that.
always keeps the wisdom. You know what I mean? The
Is-
dad keeps the wisdom. The mom's like, whatever, Danny.
Is he,
You know?
is he like
Whatever,
spiritual
Danny.
or religious?
Very, very Christian.
Okay, that
Very
makes sense.
Christian. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Christians don't go out to the nightclubs too much.
Nah. He doesn't. He moved down here for a year. He lives in Virginia. He moved down here for a year to check it out and help me start my junk and moving business, which we're gonna get into next. And then he moved out. He was like, bro, I'm done with it. You know what I mean? He's an eye doctor though, so like he has offices in Virginia.
Nice. Again, shout out to your dad.
Makes sense to stay up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you get out of that, and now what was next for you? Like, where were you at in life?
Yeah, so I get out of that, and I was kind of in a place in life. My brother was starting a tree trimming business. He was also moved down with me to Florida. He's 2 years older than me. He was about 20 at the time. I was 18. I was my first year of college, and I was like, damn, like, he's so successful. Like, I always looked up to him. I was like, damn, I need to start a business. I can't really, school isn't my thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer, but I feel like this is the only thing I can do to keep me on a straight and narrow and scheduled while I figure out what I want to do. Right, so my brother was like, hey, I started paying this guy, it was like second semester now of college. He was like, hey, I started paying this guy $300 to pick up my tree limbs. He owns like a junk and moving business. I was like, he was like, bro, you might as well start one. And I was still going to school. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna be a promoter, pretty boy, and not start picking up people's trash. You know what I mean? It's like, shit, bro, this man's crazy. My brother was always the kid that's quiet. I was the different one, the extroverted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I ain't doing that, bro. So then he starts going to he's like, bro, yo, like, you can make $1,000 a week doing this, that. You can start an enterprise, bro. We can do it together. It's called Coconuts for College. You know what I mean? Like, we implement that college name of Coconuts for Florida. I was like, all right, bro, I'll give it a try. He was like, yo, matter of fact, in order for you to give it a try, I'm gonna actually give you my truck because I know your hustle, bro, and I know that you can do it. So he put me on. So I got a truck. I'm sitting in this box truck, bro, with my boy Adrian. And you know how you have those friends, like you know those friends that are kind of like they're not fully there, but like they're just fun to be around. You know what I mean? Like he's
They're
just a
not fully
goofy,
there.
he's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
a
yeah.
goofy kid that's like, yo, Adrian, you can hype him up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm like, yo, Adrian, come with me. Let's go do this junk job. So we go do our first junk job. Junk job. We're on this app called Thumbtack. We get down to Miami. We do the job. I fall in love with it, bro. I'm like, yo, I love hard work now. Like for some reason, I had boots on, I had pants on. I was like, yo, I want, you know how like when you play football, you wanted to scuff up your helmet. I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to
yeah.
scuff up my boots for some reason, bro. I had like a weird like, I was like, bro, I want to get my boots dirty, bro. I want to work, bro, for real. So it just one thing led to another, and I started picking up jobs. Before I know it, I started hiring employees. I dropped out of college, and I had two. Then I started getting second truck. Started going on Yelp, Google. Started boosting. Started getting a bunch of referrals, inbounds. Then I started doing moving. Branched out to moving, charging hourly, dollar per mile, different rates, packaging, everything. And I started making like about $1,500 to $2,000 a day revenue. You know,
Damn.
and getting like an 80% profit. Junk removal and moving is a very lucrative business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
one-
guess the expenses are low, right?
Yeah,
You just-
expenses
a
are
lot
really
of
low.
labor.
Yeah, expenses are really low, especially for junk and moving. I mean, junk removal. You only have your employee, the landfill, and your truck gas and maintenance. That's it.
Fire. And then
Yeah.
how are you able to find all these clients?
Through Thumbtack. So one thing led to another, and it became referrals because we were doing great business. And I always made sure that I like to be the best. Like I like to like make sure that like these people understand. Like the phrase that I would do is when I was leaving, I'd be like, "Yo, our business is ran off of referrals." You know what I mean? I'd be like, "Sir, ma'am, our business is ran off referrals. Anything helps. We're just young college kids." I would never tell them that I'm the owner. Never. I would always tell them that I'm an employee. If they ever had a question or a concern or something went wrong, I say I have to call the owner. And I would step out, think about it, and act like I'm getting on the phone, and then come back in. Because you never want somebody to know that you're the owner. A lot of people think differently because they're like, okay, if I'm the owner, I'm the boss, bro. I want to be the boss. Nah, we're a team. My employees knew that we're a team. To this day, even though things kind of went different, but to this day they look back and they're like, bro, I like Danny. You only get one face card, and then make sure that you do business good with everybody. Even though it's hard, that sometimes people are crazy in this world, but you want to make sure that you do good business, and that's what all of us is about.
Yeah, that's smart that you do that. It's like putting the ego to the side because
Yeah.
most people want to like be called the boss and like,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm the boss. I'm the guy that runs everything, or I'm the CEO. This and that. So that's
Exactly.
different. That's a different approach.
Definitely.
But
And
that's cool. Like,
I would even ask my employees questions. One of them, I hired them from a moving business. I would ask them questions about how to move. I'd learn from them. That's how you level up, learning from everybody.
yeah, for sure. So how long did you do that for?
So I did that for about a year and a half fully in, and then I got my real estate license.
Damn, you've been hustling since you got to Florida.
Yeah.
Like nonstop,
bro. I hate to sleep. Like sometimes I get like 6 hours of sleep. I wake up, I need to get on it. You know what I mean?
Fire.
I need to find. I always like. My mom always tells me, she's like, Danny, you're always into something new because like I never stay like in the one thing. I always like figure out the new wave. What's the new wave? Like now I'm trying to get into social media, But
Before we get into that, how did you get? What made you want to get into real estate?
what made me wanted to get into real estate. So I remember I always thought watching Selling Sunset, right? I always like watched that movie and I was like, damn, the LA lifestyle, bro, the luxury real estate lifestyle with a suit, showing clients houses, that's so cool. But it was always something that's in the back of my head and never gets to the front until something happens. You get what I'm saying? Like we all have that right now,
Yeah.
even to this day. So I was in this moving job. It was like an 8-bedroom home and mansion in this nice HOA community, gated. All my boys, we had 3 moving trucks there. And the guy was like, towards the end of the job, he was like, Danny, I really like you as a person, man. You've been going above and beyond for me. I'm looking to sell my house. You own a moving company. Do you know anybody with a real estate license? I was like, nah. He was like, do you have a real estate license? I was like, no. I was like, just a quick question. How much did your house sell for? He was like, around $800K. And then I was like, hold on, how much does a real estate agent make? And he was like 2% to 3%. I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll find somebody, I'll let you know. Shook his hand, went in the truck, all ripped up, freaking sweating, cuts all over my legs from days prior. And I'm doing the math on my calculator on my phone, and I saw 22,000 for the commission for that. And I was like, damn, and then I looked up on Google, how long does the average house sell? And it said 30 days. I was like, I could have made 22,000 30 days. What am I doing? From there, next day, I went on GoCoastSchools.com because I found it somehow. Started doing the real estate class. Paid 500. I was like, I'm taking it. Real estate's the move. I'm still gonna do my junk and moving business, but now I got to the point in that junk and moving business where I had employees. I had a caller, like a lady that would answer the phone, and now I can start, just getting all my stuff and leveraging other people and taking a little smaller percentage, but getting into something else to create a monopoly. And real estate now can funnel leads into moving, and moving can funnel leads into real estate. 2 months later, got my real estate license. 2 months later, got my real estate license, 2 or 3 months, and I was like, I got a fire idea. I was like, what I'm gonna do, because these go hand to hand, is I'm gonna create a flyer with one side a picture of me saying that I do real estate, and the other side my business. So every time that people do the job, they give a flyer to the client, and when they flip it over, they can see my name, and they always think real estate. And then I also bought stickers. It was like $50 for a bunch of stickers from this printing company in Miami, and I told my employees, because we were super tight, because you can only trust people so much. Employees, it's hard, bro.
Yeah.
But, and I'm sure you guys know, but I bought stickers and I was like, yo, this is what I want y'all to do. Because my broker at the time in Schlimbbaum Realty in Fort Lauderdale, his name was Jay. He told me, yo, Danny, whenever you go into a house to do a showing, it was like, stick a sticker on the fuse box. And then the owner will always see it. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll think of you. So I told my employees, I was like, every time you go in the house, stick a sticker on the fuse box and pay you guys $50 extra a week. Remember, we had a tight relationship. Some people you can't trust, but I know who to trust. You know what I mean? So I started doing that. And I was also telling them, listen, like, I'll pay you guys a marketing fee, because in real estate you can't really pay commission. I'll pay you guys a marketing fee for any real estate gigs that you guys give me. And then I was like, you know what? Real estate and moving go hand to hand. Every one of my customers need to move. So I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna offer free moving services for anybody that uses me as a realtor. And then I did that.
Fire.
But to get the real estate business, I was taking cold calls. I got my license and I went straight into the office. I was in a cubicle. I was taking nonstop calls, bro, for hours and hours. 6 a.m. wake up, 7 a.m. in the office. First person in the office, last person to leave for at least 2 weeks straight. And then it kind of went slower. But I mean, my broker was like, this is a for sale by owner script. You're going to call these people. Remember, I didn't know nothing about contracts, nothing. I'm blindfolded right now.
Yeah.
Calling these people, doing what he says to do. Literally just for sale by owner, convincing them to sell their houses with me. Yeah.
That's the hustle, bro. Real estate is not easy. And shout out to Gold Coast, because that's where I got my license
Yes,
too.
sir.
Fire.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
bro,
sir.
it's not easy. I mean, studying for it isn't easy, and then once you're in the game, like you said, it's nothing but cold calls, nothing
Yep.
but trying to figure out who your clients are going to be, trying to get connected. 'Cause
Exactly.
if you don't have the right connections in real estate, it's a lot of fucking cold calls.
Exactly.
So how are you able to scale that business? Because now you had the moving business. You said that you handled it with like your employees and everything was taken care of, and now you're getting into this real estate game.
Yeah.
How did you sell your first house? Like, how was that business for you?
Definitely. So the way that I kind of scaled that business to sell my first house was I started reading books and watching Grant Cardone and watching what's the guy from New York? It's on the top of my head.
Jordan Belfort?
Ryan Serhant.
Oh.
So I started watching Ryan Serhant. Jordan Belfort's a good one too. That's the guy. Shout out Jordan Belfort.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, he's a GOAT. But I started watching Ryan Serhant and I started picking up for him. But I was like, Ryan Serhant's too white collar. I'm gonna get down and dirty, bro. I'm from the promoting side. I'm from the freaking junk removal side, bro. I don't gotta wear a suit and tie to sell houses. I'm gonna just, pull up. I'm gonna be Daniel Alexander. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna get on these phones. I'm gonna bang it out. Everybody that I'm on the phone with, I'm gonna either tell them to sell their houses with me, or I'm gonna lead, or I'm gonna end the call, or da-da-da. And that was the wrong mindset. I realized that unlike any other sale, if you gain the relationship on the phone, you talk to them about how their day was and you gain the relationship rather than trying to sell them. And that was what really the 5% in realtors do. The 95% are all about commissions. Mm-hmm. So my voice started changing on the phone. My mindset started changing. My conversation started changing. I got to the point where there's this one guy where he was like, yo, I live in Wilton Manors. I always thought Wilton Manors was the gay capital, but I started. He wasn't though for some reason. But I started talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, like follow up with me in 2 weeks. My dad's going through something, whatnot." So I followed up with him in a week. Actually, I think it was like 3 days. And I was like, hey, man, we just talked. You're for sale by owner. I'm just telling you that your house isn't worth $1 million. You have it on Zillow. Is there any way that we can come by and just talk to you, man? I just want to get to know you. You seem like a good guy. I don't even want to sell your house. I literally just want to talk to you. That's it. He was like, come by. I was like, perfect. Literally changed. I was wearing shirts and t-shirt, went home, changed, boom, boom, did my hair real quick, on my way. Had a listing agreement printed out, went to his house. had it in my backpack with my boy Dreams. We used to call him Dreams. I'll get to that scenario. But go to his backyard. His dad's super old, can barely see. It's the kid. They're living like shit. Their house is worth about 600K in the condition that it's in. They have it listed for 1 million. Talk to them, gain the relationship. Before I left, I was like, yo, I just talked to him. I had a good conversation. I went to go use the bathroom in their house, looked myself in the mirror, and I said, I got to get them to sign this listing agreement. I'll have the best week of my life. So I went back outside and I talked to them, got them into signing the listing agreement, and they signed it. And that was my first house sale.
Fire.
And I actually bought that same guy glasses from my dad to be able to read the contracts.
Nice.
Because he couldn't read, and he couldn't afford glasses. Yeah, bro, he couldn't afford glasses, bro. It's crazy.
No.
That's amazing, bro. That's a good story. So how did it went from 1 million to 600,000?
Yep.
Like he just decided that it was above market price.
So it went from 1 million to 600,000 because I explained to him. I said, "Listen, sir, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a genuine guy, and your house, like, I wish I could sell it for 1 million. I would make more, but your house is only gonna sell what the market's doing, right? Because we may find that one buyer in a needle in that needle in a haystack, but what's your reason for selling?" I always ask that. They said that their reason was that they need to be out there defaulting on their mortgage. I said, okay, so we have a time frame. We need to sell. We want to get top dollar, but we need to sell. Excuse me. I said, how much do you own the house? He said 98K. So I was like, okay, you're gonna make about a 500,000, minus taxes or whatnot. You have that in profit. So, I mean, your equity is good. Why not sell the house for what the market calls for? And I talked him into it. He ended up listening for what the market called for.
Nice. And was that the first of many? Was that just like?
That was the first of many.
Nice.
Yeah. So then my first year, I did about almost 20 million in sales.
Damn,
I did
20 million in sales?
Yeah.
Shit.
Thank God, thank the man above,
Yeah.
Keeping my head on straight and whatnot. And then I'd probably say I did about 800, actually, yeah, I did about 800K in rentals and a little after my first year, which I'm still basically just after my first year. Last month, I did 600K just that month in rentals.
Wait, how long you been in the real estate game for?
1 year.
God damn, bro.
And like, how many clients is that like to get? You said 20 million in sales.
Yeah. So I had about, I would say, over 100 closings.
Fire, bro. No, you're literally on the phone all day.
Yeah.
On the phone all day.
Yeah, within a year, that's no joke.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of distractions. I had my months where I was hot. I was like, yo, I'm gonna kill it in real estate. And then my months where I was going out. You know what I mean? Like, not my months, but my nights where I'd go out and I'd always feel like shit. So I tied in. I was like, yo, I'm gonna quit vaping. I'm gonna quit all this. I'm gonna freaking tie in for the next 7 months. The first months were rocky. Obviously, I was on the phone a lot, but they were still rocky. I wasn't fully like tied in. Mm-hmm. But once I learned the game, I learned the contract, I ran. I hit the ground running. The new brokerage that I'm with, they're like, bro, you hit the ground running. My old broker actually fired me. He actually cut me. Brokers don't do that. Brokers, being in real estate,
they
brokers
love to have you around. No
exactly. He cut me because of the fact that I was moving too fast. My first month with him, I had the most listings in the brokerage. I actually had my for sale signs around everywhere. I think that he was jealous that I was taking the limelight, but I don't see it as that. I said, thank you for having me. I appreciate all your time. I'll still always give him credit. He taught me a lot. Thank you to Jay, but at the end of the day, I got to keep it moving.
Where you at now? What brokerage?
Lifestyle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lifestyle.
Yes, sir.
Damn, bro, that's an amazing story. I mean, I feel like we got you early because you're just getting started.
Yeah.
Is this something that you love and you want to pursue, like the real estate game?
Definitely. Something that I love. Is where my passion is. I love connecting with people, gaining relationships, love going to networking events. I love anything that has to do with the lifestyle. Real estate's a lifestyle. It's not junk and moving where you have your schedule and you can't hang out with your clients. Mm-hmm. Take my clients out to lunches, the clubs, strip clubs, everything, bro. Depends who the client is how I dress and how I act, Just you got to be a chameleon. But at the end of the day, like now I'm getting into social media and this is where I really think I'm going to take off because when I do something, I put my all in it. I'm sure just like all of us, when I do something, it's like, it's kind of a bad and good mindset, but like I'll literally dream thinking about it. Right? Like until I'm where I want to be, like I won't stop. So I'm trying to implement real estate into being a social media influencer and then also pushing forward on my real estate sales and then being like a guy online that's funny, but also like serious and like, just being, gaining that attraction.
Do you think being young gives you an advantage with all these influencers that they're also young too, for the most part?
Definitely.
Like they want to work with somebody around their age.
Exactly. They want to work with somebody around their age. They love to work with somebody around their age and we can connect and hang out, unlike an old guy that's showing them houses. You know what I mean? They like to talk the shit and whatnot. And now my business is 99% ran on influencers.
You really got the biggest influencers. Now you don't just have celebrities and influencers. You have like the biggest.
Yeah.
That's fire, bro. So yeah, it only makes sense that you go from selling houses to going all up in the real estate or the social media game. So tell me a little bit about that, cause I'm about to start taking notes, cause realistically, like I'm not really too big in the social media game now. I'm trying to get into it because of the podcast.
Definitely.
So what have you learned from that?
So what I learned is consistency, and what I learned is why the 1% of the 1% is because they really are doing 1%. So hear me out. This is really what I learned. So the 1% are willing to stay consistent and you got to be very creative. It's a different word. Like you got to really like think outside the box on what people are going to want to see, and maybe be like an actor, right? Or if you're doing podcasts, you got to really like push, and leverage other influencers. Like Jack Doherty was never big. Do you guys know Jack Doherty?
Not really.
So he's like a YouTuber kind of thing, but he was never big. Then he moved to Miami. He leveraged influencers. So especially with podcasts, like, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to leverage influencers to grow bigger.
That's fire. So when it comes to consistency, what are you looking at when it comes to your posts? Like how consistent do you keep it? How often do you post, and what do you post about?
Yeah, so I would say, for podcasts, you should post about 3 reels a day, 3 shorts from all your podcasts.
Damn, 3 a day?
Every day.
A day.
Wow.
You want to be the top on the For You page. Some of them are going to get 200 views. Some of them are going to get 1 million views. And 5% of them are going to get a few thousand, right? But even if the one gets 1 million, don't look at it like, yo, what did I do? Hold on, let me go into detail. It was the same as that one that only got 200 views. No, it's just what attracts the eye. You never know. Maybe it got funneled into this For You page, this For You page. Maybe someone posted on their story. Just keep posting consistently. Have people shout you out, leverage people, gain relationships. Like, I know a lot of influencers, so maybe I could bring some people, or Alex Valadares, or just gain relationships, bro, with podcasts and network, bro, and get cool people on here and just have them post it, and you guys will grow like no other, bro.
Yeah, honestly, that's how
that's how it's grown.
From Baltimore to Miami, and then you became a realtor, and now you're into social media game, and you were in the nightlife. So how do you stay focused and not distracted?
So I didn't tell you guys this part, but I was actually running a jet ski business too. So I started a jet ski rental business. I bought 2 jet skis, and I was like, bro, I love being on the water. I'm going to rent these out. And I partnered with this dude. I was calling jet ski companies to see if they wanted to use my jet skis and pay me this amount.
You're a real hustler.
Yeah. But I called this jet ski company. I was like, yo, I called all the Fort Lauderdale ones. I was like, yo, I'm buying these jet skis for, I know what I'm paying, $6,000 each with the trailer. I'll give you guys my jet skis to add to your fleet. And you guys just pay me this monthly and do whatever you want. The damages, just, I'd be lenient. I'd be like, the damages, I don't really care. Just make sure that they're rideable. And I don't even need to see them. Just, I'm going to call my lawyer, David Jaffe. I don't know if you guys know him. He's like a Jewish lawyer in Florida. I'm going to call him, pay him a little bit to write up a contract. And then I found the right jet ski company, and they ended up paying me, I think it was like $1,500 each jet ski per month. And I was making $3,000, and then I started making profit.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. So I did all that, and then I got to the point where I crashed out, bro. I had 2 phones, and like I just was waking up every morning, and I couldn't answer the phones, like, because they just kept ringing. And my junk removal business was doing this, because there's always problems, bro. None of this is all easy, bro. This is hard shit. Like, you're dealing with bullshit all day. You know what I mean? More money, more problems is true, bro. And like I was doing jet skiing, I was doing junk removal, I was doing a little bit of real estate, and I just crashed out. Boom. And I just couldn't even get out of bed, bro, for like a week, bro. Like I was just like good out of bed, but you know what I mean? I like barely showered, bro. I was just like barely breathing, like I was inhale, like I was having bad anxiety, bro. So I went to my dad for a month, and he gave me this book called The Compound Effect. He was like, Danny, I want you to read this book. And at the time, I thought I was like, just too busy to do that. He was like, shut off your phone while you're here, or you're not coming. So when I got there, I had to shut off my phone, and I gave my businesses to other people, and I had to put faith in them. My brother, shout out to my brother. He gave me a lot of help for that. Shut off my phone, read the book, and it was about how small, smart choices plus consistency and time equals a radical difference. And it was talking about how big your why is. If you have a big enough why, one of the examples on the book, he was like, I'll never forget. He was like, if you have a string across a 20-foot building, and on the other roof, there's a $100 bill. Would you cross that building to go to the other side for $100? And everybody's like, no. He was like, but if you have a string and your family members over there, or your children or your loved ones, would you cross the building to go to the other side? And everybody's like, yeah. They're like, why would you do it? They're like, because my kids are over there. They're like, okay, so you're doing it because your kids are over there. They're like, anything that you do in life, as long as you have a big enough why, you can accomplish anything that you want. These influencers, everybody that I meet are nobody special. They just work hard. That's it. They just consistent. They don't need to see the next result. I mentor some people and they're like, bro, like, I'm not seeing results in 1 week. I think I'm gonna quit. I'm always telling them not to quit. You know what I mean? I'm there, but like, bro, you gotta have it in yourself. You know what I mean? You gotta also have it in yourself, and that really comes from, inner hunger to learn on your own. I can't be your babysitter. I'm just to tell you, but you gotta do the other part of the job, and you gotta act on it. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, they just want that instant. Things take years. I mean, think about it. Like if you look at like Amazon, I mean, where'd they start? They started a while ago. I mean, we should have bought that stock a while ago. Tesla, everybody. I mean, yeah, they're very smart and they're intelligent, but we're all intelligent and smart. Some of us are born with different gifts than others. But as long as we use that to our advantage, we're able to prosper, You got to know what you're good at. And that's part of being a leader. A strategic leader puts people in positions that are good at, right? That they're going to excel at. Like this person may not be good at answering the phone, but they can damn right pick up that junk removal couch by themselves, right? She may be good at answering the phone. So she answers the phone, he picks up the couch, Things like that.
Are you think you're good at that, identifying people's strengths?
I wouldn't say that I'm great at it, but I would say through my experience, I'm able to identify people's strengths based upon, meeting them from all of the trials and tribulations I've had from putting people in the wrong positions,
Gotcha.
So how do you, with everything going on, and I'm sure the compound effect helped you a lot, but how do you stay focused with all the distractions that come about? Because, when you're successful, and I'm sure you've had a lot of success these last couple years, when you start seeing success, I'm sure, like distractions come with it, girls,
definitely,
partying, nightlife, your clients want to go out. Have you experienced a lot of that or no?
So definitely, man.
Are you in a relationship or are you single?
So I'm single right now. I have a daughter. She's 7 months old. It wasn't planned, but I was actually talking to her on and off throughout the time, and she's like a good family friend. So I feel like it's a blessing from God, and it actually pushed me to go harder and harder and harder. But it taught me a lesson too that, you got to make sure that you're staying level-headed. And right now I feel like, I've been through so many nightlife ups and downs. I've hung around the wrong people down here in Miami, and it's not all glitz and glamour. And the one thing about Miami is that you really got to have a strong backbone. Like you really, really do. Especially in the life that I'm living, with the influencers and the real estate. Like if you don't have a strong backbone, man, you will see a Rolex on somebody and think that they're freaking rich. Or you'll see a Maybach on somebody and think that they're rich and get scammed. You know what I mean? Like Miami is the number one freaking facade state, bro. I've seen we could go on stories, bro. Bro, I got to bring y'all boys to Jack Doherty's party one night. And like y'all can network, bro. I'll bring y'all to network 100%.
Well, please do.
Island Boys and everybody, bro.
The Miami Hustle is all about networking. You saw us pull up at Karate Combat. What were we doing? We watched some fights. We watched Fames for sure, but
Fames is lit.
We're mostly networking, bro.
Yeah, one thing leads to another, bro. Like
I mean, that's why you're, bro. Straight up, that's why you're here.
Exactly, bro.
We were networking at Karate Combat, and now you're here at the Miami Hustle.
100%.
That's what it's about, bro, and that's what we're about too. Trying to connect the community of hustlers in Miami, and as you know, Miami's full of hustlers. Everybody has their own thing, and they're trying to come up
100%,
like in whatever their field may be, whether it's real estate, whether it's social media influencers, OnlyFans, even like, bro, there's a hustle for everything and everyone.
Everything, bro.
Miami, that's what I love,
bro. It's that's what I love too, bro.
And that's what I love.
Some
getting
people
to
can't
know
take
people
it, bro.
too.
Some people hate it, but I love it.
No, I love getting to know people too and about their
bro.
hustle. Like I believe I could do anything, so I'm very I'm versatile in what I do. Like I never, if somebody's doing something, I like to learn from them and see if I could actually do it too. I don't 100%. Like to just shy away from things. So the more I can learn from people, the better it is in the long run, and the more connections that we can make too.
100%, bro. And I can bring y'all to tap into the influencer realm. I'll bring you guys to one of Jack's parties where a bunch of streamers and stuff go, and then from there, bro, just you guys, the ball's in your court. You guys do what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, if the ball's in my court, I'm always taking shots, bro. 100%. I'm always gonna shoot the shot.
100%, bro.
I'm not shy with that. I'm low key and I don't talk too much in public, but if there's an opportunity, I'm all over it. So,
100%.
And I'm down to party. I'm always down to party.
Yeah, bro.
I always love to have a good time.
You gotta
too.
have a good time. 100%, bro.
I like to have a balance.
I can see that, bro. You're Miami, dog.
Yeah, born and raised.
Yes, sir.
We're out here. We know what's up.
Yes,
We
start young.
Yeah, we got tired of partying after high school, honestly.
Yeah, I could tell.
The joke is you stopped drinking at 21.
For real? That's a valid joke, bro. That's a valid joke.
Yeah, Miami's great because it's kind of like what you were saying about Maryland. Like, you got exposed to so many different people. In Miami, there's literally
Miami's the
every
same. I
kind
was gonna say that.
of
Yeah,
person
Miami's the
that's out
same.
here,
100%. It's culture. I love it.
So
Yeah.
I love it. I love the speed. It's so fast paced.
you're 23 right now.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself at 40?
Oh shit.
At 40.
Yeah, bro.
Shit.
Damn. That's that longevity you're talking
That
about.
is
Yeah.
longevity. At 40, I see myself not working. I see myself with the family. I see myself settled down. You know, that's the overall goal. I don't see myself partying, but traveling a lot. You know, at 40 and creating generational wealth so that then that's why I got into real estate, to own real estate, to learn the game. You know, because real estate's really where the money's at. A lot of influencers don't understand that. But I see myself just really like owning properties and being to the point where like now I can have my kids grow up in generational wealth and still like punish them and discipline them, but they don't really have to worry, you know.
Gotcha.
And traveling.
That's good that you said that a lot of influencers don't know about how valuable real estate is,
Right.
because that just gives you more value, that if you're around them,
I
like
can
with,
tell them.
with time, they're going to see what you're doing. They're going
Right.
to hear your conversations.
Yeah.
You're going to, little by little, like you said, like closing
Yep. The funnel.
the funnel. Yeah, they're going to get to know you more, and they're going to get to know how important real estate is, and then maybe you could even be like a huge blessing to their life, because with all this money that these influencers make, if they just spend it on the wrong shit, all that influencer money that you're getting right now
It's
is not gonna-
temporary.
exactly.
See, real estate, you guys are building something right now, like podcasts, that's longevity. Influencer, like being famous, is you hear about them, you still know about them, they're still worth money, but they're not making as much when they were hot. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes they're hot, sometimes they're not.
Yeah, bro. A little bit of a shorter form. Where do you see yourself within this next year? It's 2024. Just so everybody knows, this is January. It's actually the last week of January.
Yeah.
So the first month is gone. We got 11 months left in 2024. So tell us a little bit about what your goals are right now, because just so you know, we like to have guests back on a couple months later, just
Definitely.
to see like where you were at when we first talked, and now where you at, let's say 6 months later or a year later.
100%, and I'll definitely come back. You know, even if because my goal is for my social media to be booming and whatnot, I'm gonna come back for sure. So, my goal in the next year is gonna be to gain about, I'd say, 2 to 3 million on TikTok, like 2 million on Instagram. Have a content house, and then also be working like these realtors. I want to be 100% different, bro. I want to be the first influencer realtor that kids look up to. They're like, yo, I want to do real estate, because a lot of kids don't know, like, I want to do real estate. They're like, yo, I want to be like that kid on the Island Boys. I want to be like Jack Doherty, but I want to be like, yo, I want to do real estate. Like, I want to create like where kids want to take pictures with me and stuff. You know what I mean? Like create that kind of vibe. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
big. That's
like a fun realtor. Like
Sure.
it's like different. you
Lead
know?
by example.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
different.
yeah. No, definitely. It's a great like industry to be in, especially at a young age. Like if
Yeah.
you get your real estate license straight out of high school, you're already off to a great start. You know, it's something that you could always have, even if you're not practicing it. And it's always good to know,
100%.
because one day you're gonna have to buy a house or rent somewhere, and you're gonna have to know these things that you don't get taught in school.
100%.
So-
And like I wanted to like lead into like I'm also like on social media, I'm like concierge services. Like I do restaurant bookings, jets, cars, like the full 9 yards. You know,
That goes hand in hand with the social media
Exactly.
influencers for sure.
100%.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad that you were on the show today. We're coming up on time, but hey, we got you early.
100%.
This is only the beginning.
Yes,
Shout
sir.
out to President Awesome again. Shout out to Fames for getting us into karate combat. That's how we met DM Danny.
Yes,
And
sir.
if you guys need a private jet, any jet skis, you need a moving services, anything you need, DM Danny. You
Yes,
already
sir.
know.
Thank y'all, boys.
Slide
Hey,
in
shout
the
out to the
DMs.
Miami Hustle. Thank y'all for having me. I'm excited to see what y'all are doing in 1 year.
You know
Honestly,
it.
bro.
Yo.
Keep grinding. Let's
Hey,
get
you'll
it.
be back.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. The hustle continues.
Yes,
Let's
sir.